Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be talking a little bit about the 2024 New Jersey Senate race and a development that occurred just yesterday, September 23rd, Saturday. Andy Kim is announcing he is running for Senate in a pretty shocking and unexpected move. This is, I think, when I saw this tweet, I saw maybe half an hour or an hour after it initially came out, so it was pretty recent. I was like, whoa, because I was not expecting this to happen. So a lot has happened in New Jersey in the past 48 hours. I'll get you caught up on that. Before I do that, please like this video, subscribe. I'm not asking that just to ask it. It really does help the channels if you did those two things. Maybe even share it with someone else. That would truly go a long way towards helping me out. So to kind of talk about the context for this, in case you're not too familiar with New Jersey, this specific Senate seat, New Jersey. Obviously, New Jersey is a blue state. It's held by a Democrat, Bob Menendez, right now. But Menendez, the Democrat, he has a history of some pretty striking and honestly very credible allegations of corruption and bribery. Bribery in specific has become a major theme, as on Friday we got a report. He was indicted, and he... I'll leave my interpretation out of it, but the charges were very, very credible and pretty damning. So I'm not going to go through them, but if you want to go through them, it's pretty bad stuff, especially, putting American intelligence and state secrets at stake to gain money. So if those allegations are true, they are obviously horrible, and now he's been indicted. They're, very, very credible. So that is a huge problem for Menendez in the Democrats' New Jersey, because Bob Menendez is a very, very unpopular senator. He already was in 2018. We'll talk about his last performance. And now he's even more heated. He's been indicted. So Democrats were facing they're facing a really difficult kind of narrative, specifically in New Jersey, because they're going to attack Donald Trump in the general election next year for being a criminal. They're going to say Donald Trump is a criminal. You cannot vote for him. But if their incumbent senator running for re-election has also been indicted, that's going to be hard for them to do. And so some Democrats, starting on Friday, they began to call for Bob Menendez to resign. Obviously, that is a risky political move. And just to kind of talk about the electoral politics of that, asking a member of your own party to resign is a very risky thing. It's one thing if a Republican, because, Republicans will ask Democrats to resign every day just for likes on Twitter. Same thing other way around. But to ask a member of your own party to resign, someone you potentially work with or have had to deal with, and you're on the same team in Washington, that's a pretty risky deal. Another important thing to remember is that, let's say you're a congressman or you're a state representative or you're a mayor or a local political figure, and you're saying, hey, I want our senator to resign, we should let someone else take this role. And then that senator, Bob Menendez, wins re-election or is running for re-election, gets past the primary, your words can be used against him. So asking Menendez to resign is risky. I was pretty shocked a lot of Democrats came out and did it right away, Andy Kim being one of them. And he is now, and now that almost 24 hours later, now that Bob Menendez has said he will not be going anywhere per this tweet, he's like, well, then I'm going to have to run for Senate against. It's actually pretty funny, because obviously I don't think Andy Kim was going to run for Senate had Menendez not been indicted. But now that this is happening, I guess it's Kim's doing this for the good of the party, and specifically, again, if these indictments are as credible as I think they are, very, very bad stuff on the part of a sitting U.S. senator. So to talk about Bob Menendez a bit more specifically, he was last up for re-election in 2018. He defeated Bob Hugin. But if you look at this, these numbers, 54 to 43. That's not a very good showing for a Democrat in New Jersey. Biden won the state by, I think, 16%, and this was a bluer environment. And Democrats had won the governor's race by 14 a year prior. In the governor's race in New Jersey, you're always closer than the Senate races. So this was a very bad showing in a blue wave. New Jersey, with Menendez, only voted about 2.5% or 3% to the left of the country. In 2020, voted 12% to the left of, 12% to the left of the country. So already he was, even before being indicted on these charges, he was a very bad candidate. And now that he is indicted again, I don't want to say again, but now that he has even more stuff on his plate, I think it's consensus he'd be even worse of a candidate. And so for that reason, I think Menendez, on top of his charges, is a liability to Democrats, just a complete liability in New Jersey, because he would potentially lose the Senate race. He'd probably be favored to win if he won the primary, but he would really make this a closer race than it would have to be. He'd probably be within 5 or 6 points of losing in 2024 if you were to win the party's nomination. And so I think Democrats are really, on top of the charges, they're really concerned about that, because they cannot afford to be playing in New Jersey when they have to defend much tougher seats in Ohio, Montana, Arizona, not defending, but Nevada, even West Virginia. Maybe they'll make a play for. So I'm gonna say that Democrats, I think, are pretty happy that Andy Kim's running. I think he'll rack up some pretty good endorsements of these next few days. I will say that Menendez still has a chance in the primary, just because even though he's very unpopular, even though I think Andy Kim's going to have a really easy time attacking him, obviously, I think people underestimate the power of incumbency. And there's a lot of primaries where people cut out the incumbent just because, they're unpopular, and they end up winning narrowly. So Menendez, he has a base. He's done this before. In 2018, it wasn't as contested, but he did win a primary against a not super well-funded challenger, but a serious one. She got 160,000 votes. So, look, this is not going to be a surefire win for Andy Kim, which is why it's a risky move for him to get in this race. But I think he's favored. He's a member of Congress as of right now. He won a Trump district in both 2018 and 2020. He was then redistricted to be in a bluer seat in 2022. He won in a much less competitive race there. And so I think he's a good politician. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think that he's going to be able to really convince a lot of people who voted for Menendez last time to just vote for him in the primary. I think if Democrats are smart, they'll get behind him quickly, and they'll say, look, we have to beat Bob Menendez. He's a liability, and he's not a good look for our party. So, to me, I think Andy Kim probably favored to win the primary. Again, not a guarantee, but I'd rather be him right now in this race. So, pretty shocking developments in New Jersey. Just wanted to update you guys on that. And I would say that in a Kim versus Republican matchup, the race goes back to safe Democratic. In a Menendez versus Republican matchup, it's lean Democratic. So there's a clear difference in candidate quality. And I guess, again, if the indictments are true, moral quality between these two candidates. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are now updated on the situation. Again, if you are, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.